Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam Yat Sarva Vishayatitam Tasmai Sarva Vide Namaha. Spashtatvam karma kartradehe siddhita yadi kalpyate spashtata spashtate syatam anyasyaiva na chatmanah. So different aspects or understanding about Siddhi. So what is meant by Siddhi? Accomplishment is coming into being. Different views are there. So here Bhattamatam or Bhattamatam Jnatata Atma Lav Atirikta Api Asti Spashtata Nama Siddhi. One Siddhi Jnatata, that part is established when the part is known. Atma Lava, other definition is part is there because part comes into being. So to come into being is called Siddhi. Or to be known, to become an object of knowledge is called Siddhi. Tadatirikta api asti. There is also a third definition of Siddhi. Siddhi means accomplishment. Spashtata nama Siddhi. Even if something has come into being, even if something is known, and still that clarity is not there, Spashtata. Therefore, says Spashtatvam karma kartrade siddhita yadi kalpyate. Spashtata spashtate syatam anyasyaiva. That spashtata aspashtata can be there only for kartradi vilakshanasya sakshina. The sakshi who is distinct or different from the karta, karma, etc. How is this spashtata of sakshi? Chidabhasa jananena. So you know that sakshi is when Chidabhasa, the reflected consciousness, is there. So the coming into being of a reflected consciousness establishes the existence of the image or the Chidava or the Sakshi. So it is Sakshi who is Spashta or Aspashta. Sakshi, Adhyaksha, witness, becomes Spashta, becomes known clearly that it is there when you see the reflection in the Kartru. Otherwise you do not know that Sakshi is there. Therefore, Chidabhasa Jananena, by creating Chidabhasa reflection, the image that is the Sakshi, is the presence is established. So, natu atmanah kartaradi surupasya jadatvat. So, it is not spashtata or aspashtata of Atma, it is spashtata or aspashtata of Sakshi who gets reflected, and therefore if Chidabhasa is there, Sakshi is there, Chidabhasa is not there, Sakshi is not there. Now, etadeva vyatireka pradarsanena spashtayati. We are page 385 in my book, or verse 140. Adrashtruneva chandasya spashti bhavo ghatasya tu kartrade spashtateshta ched drashtuta dhyaksha kartruka. So, vyatireka pradarsanena. If such a thing is there, then spashtata is there. Such a thing is not there, spashtata is not there. So now he is given the example of andha or a blind person. Adrashtuhu andasya spashti bhava naiva ghatasyatu. Andasya darshana vritti rahitasya jnatuhu. Imagine that there is a person, jnata or the knower, who is blind, devoid of the sight. Tad vishayibhutasya ghatasya cha yas spashtibhava. Whatever spashtibhava, the spashtata of that ghata, which is the object of knowledge of a blind person, Saneva jnana visheta atirikto bhattamate sambhavati. It cannot be other than becoming the object of knowledge. Jnana vishayata atirikta. Jnana vishayata, the state of being the object of knowledge. So a blind person knows that there is this part here. That is a spashtata of part, because that's all that a blind person can accomplish. Evam sati, this is so, bhattamata anusarina kartrade spashtata. So this is prakatya rupa ishtachet. If the bhatta say that spashtata means the prakatya, kartrade spashtata, kartradi becomes very clear, becomes revealed, becomes evident. Tada drashtuta tad vilakshana adhyakshakartuka avasyema estavya. Then drashtuta, he must be also a drashta. So this kartra must also be drashta. Tad vilakshana adhyakshakartuka avasyema estavya. That means there must be a drashta. Tad vilakshana adhyaksha kartruka drashtuta. The drashtuta of the Sakshi has to be accepted. If according to the Bhattas, for a blind person, if the ghata is to become the object of knowledge of the blind person, that is the spashtata. In that case, Drashtuta tad vilakshana adhyaksha kartruka avasyam estavya. There must be, other than this karta, the knower, who is the adhyaksha sakshi, who possesses the drashtuta. तस्मात् कर्मादेः जडस्य स्पष्टतायाः प्रकाश अपरपर्यायाः असंभवात् न स्पष्टता सिद्धिशब्दार्थः. Karma, karta, all of these are jada. Therefore, they are not self-effulgent. Therefore, spashtata of the nature of revealing themselves cannot be. It can only be in adhyaksha or the sakshi. So that is where drashtuta, and sakshi is the drashta, so that is where spashtata has to accept it. So na spashtata siddhi shabdartha, that the part becomes clear that it's a part. By itself that spashtata cannot be the siddhi. But spashtata in terms of drashtuta, that the sakshi comes to know, that alone can be called the siddhi. किंतु ज्ञान विषयता एव कर्त्रादिगत चिदावासन द्वारा, that the ghata becomes the object of knowledge, कर्त्रादिगत चिदावासन द्वारा. In karta there is chidavasa, so drashta becomes enlivened, that's why the part becomes drashya. Tat adhisthana bhutah chidatma. So therefore that which is responsible for that reflected consciousness, which is the chidatma, vidimukhenaiva. So pradipadi dustan anumanadina pramanena avagantavya. The idea is that chidatma, here the author says that vidimukhenaiva, that chidatma also has chidatma. Adhishthanabhutah chidatma. The one that is adhishthanam, substratum, even of the sakshi or drashta. That chidatma vidimukhenaiva pradipadi dustan anumanadina, that this chidatma has to be there. Everything other than chidatma is achetanam. And therefore, if achetanam displays the attributes of chetanam such as drashtutvam, then there must be chetana. So, pradipadi dushtanta anumanadina. Therefore, you infer the existence of pradip or a lamp when something like this ghata is illumined, because ghata cannot self-illumine. There must be an illuminator of ghata. If you don't see that lamp, then also you can infer the presence of that lamp. So here the lamp is chidatma, which you do not see in a conventional sense. Therefore, that chidatma's presence is established by the fact that the inert thing, achetan thing is illumined. The self-illuminating chidatma must be there, like a lamp is there when a ghatapata is illumined. Pradipadi dustant anumanadina pramanena. Understand, anumanadina pramanena. Not this is possibility of, this is anumana pramanam, is what establishes the existence of pradipadi. So anumana pramanam establishes the existence of chidatma. So this is how Anumanam was presented as a pramanam for Atma. If you go to the verse 123, prasanam grahanam siddhi pratyanam iha anyatah. Pratyanam of the thoughts, prasanam sfuranam, that they shine, grahanam, that they are perceived, that you can perceive them, siddhi, that a thought comes into being, anyatah, that a thought itself is not enough to establish The prathanam achitatvat, achetanatvat. Like ghata, thought also is unconscious. Therefore, it cannot come into being on its own. Like ghata, something has to bring it into existence. It cannot shine on its own. Like a lamp, it is to illumine that. The fact that a thought shines, that it can be perceived by you, like pratibodh, whatever that bodha is there, that thought came into being, all of this is made possible not by thought itself, but by anyatah, anyasmad, aparokshat, aparoksha svabhavat bhavitum. So all of that thought coming into being, thought shining, thought being known, all of this is possible only by someone that is aparoksha, other than the thought. And Chidatma, then that which is the nature of consciousness, achit svabhava, because thought is achit svabhava. So that which chit svabhava, aparoksha, because all these aparoksha, must be there. See, achit svabhavatvam agamapayitam. What is achit? Because agamapayi comes into being because achit requires to be illumined. In order for it to be known, and illumined the thing is known, not illumined, not known. Therefore, that which cannot shine on its own, which depends upon something else to illumine, will be illumined now, when not illumined then. It cannot be the sun is not illumined because self-shining. But the moon you never know, because the moon is illumined by a sun, then it shines, it doesn't shine otherwise. So Agamapaya shows that is Achit Svabhava. And this Furanam shows that it is self-effulgent. So Pradipati Etavat Anumanam Iha Uktam Ityartha. So like a lamp. So Vimataha Pratyaha Svavilakshana Anyadina Prasanagrahana Siddhikaha. The Pratyaya, the thoughts which are the subject matter of discussion or vivada, disputed, or those which are subject matter of discussion, we have not arrived at the conclusion yet. Pratyaya Svavilakshana Anyadina Prasanagrahana Siddhikaha. They must be dependent upon someone else other than themselves for coming into being, for shining, for being perceived. They must depend upon someone else, which is Svavilakshana, other than themselves. Achit Svabhavatvad, because the thoughts themselves are unconscious, and therefore Pradipavat, like unconscious, unillumined pot, etc., depends upon the lamp. So these thoughts must presuppose, you must presume a self-conscious entity for the thought to be known, to be thought, even to come into being, for it to be known, for it to shine. Samanyato drishtantasi samanyata drishtanumanam. Atrayam Purusha Swam Jyoti. Upanishad says, here in the dream, this Purusha, the Atma, is self-effulgent. Atmaivasya Jyoti. Of the Vyavahara that goes on in dream, Atma alone is a Jyoti. Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. All the universe is not self-shining, is Achit Svabhavam, therefore by the light of the Atma it shines. Ityadi Shruti Prasiddha Swaprakasha Atmani. So all these Shrutis reveal the existence of the Swaprakasha Atma. Sambhavana Darshita. So these Anumanam, they show that is what the Shruti says is tenable. Sambhavana Darshita. And so, because Shruti also has to be understood by us. When Shruti says self-effulgent, it is self-effulgent. But we have to understand in what way is it self-effulgent, so this reasoning is required to understand the Shruti. So therefore what the Shruti says makes sense, is tenable. Therefore, going back to verse 140, Drishtanta Anumanadina Pradipadi Drishtanta Anumanadina Pramayena Avagantavya Chidatma Chidatma Avagantavya. The self, the nature of consciousness has to be known. Anumanadina Pramayena, by the Anumana, etc. Pradipadi Drishtanta, like the example of a lamp. एवं कर्तृ कर्म विहीन है प्रत्यय प्रत्यस्वमहिम्ना भासते. Now, so far it is assumed that a pratyaya or a thought shines because it is illumined by something or because it is perceived by someone, then you know. So basically Vedanta Siddhanta is that the existence of something can be established only when it is witnessed. So witness that establishes something is, so that adhyaksha or witness establishes existence of even thought or anything. But what does the Buddha say? Swamahimna bhasa is a pratyaya, does not require an illuminator, does not require a perceiver. Kartru karma vihina eva pratyaya. There is no karta to illumine this, that thought is not a karma to be illumined. Swamahimna bhasate, a thought shines when it is self-effulgent. Iti vadan vijnanavadi bauddha pratyavat. This is swasamvedyam. Everything is self-revealing. So you don't require a sakshi to establish the existence, everything reveals itself, that's what they say. So Buddha pratyavatishthate. At this time Buddha, comes up, stands up, this argument. So verse 141. Anubhuteh kimanyasmin syat tava apekshaya vada anubhavitarishta syat sopyanubhutireva nah. Anubhute kimanyasmin syat. So anubhute samvedanasya. Anubhuti call it samvedanam, call it knowing. Anyasmin apekartradu apekshaya tava kim phalam. So he is asking us, what do you get by imagining that he is a karta or someone other than samvedanam, anubhuti, experience, perception or cognition? That a cognition presupposes a cognizer. We say that a cognition or knowing presupposes a knower. Why do you say that? Tava kim phalam syat tadvada. So he is asking us, what benefit do you get by imagining a knower for the thought to be known? We say that the thought itself reveals itself. So why do you need a knower? Why do you bring that additional variable? The idea is that minimum variables should be brought in to explain anything. So Vedantin, why do you explain? Why do you bring in the knower? Why not Why not believe that the thought reveals itself? Then you don't need a knower, so you don't need that further variable. So by accepting a knower, what is the benefit that you get? If you had accepted that thought reveals itself, you do not need someone else to reveal the thought. So by accepting someone else to reveal the thought, what benefit do you get? That's what he's asking you. Na kinchit phalam tasya swaprakashatvat. Meaning that what he means is that na kinchit phalam. You do not get any benefit of imagining a knower of the thought tasyaha anubhute swapraka, because that anubhuti, experience is self-effulgent. Therefore, you do not require a knower or some other entity to establish the existence of anubhuti. Anubhavitari ashrabhute sa ishtabhya syat. Anubhuti also must have an ashraya, an anubhavita. An experience requires a locus, and that is experiencer. Tasya tat adhinatva darshanat. Because we find that an experience always requires or presupposes an experiencer, so we say that an experiencer is the ashaya, the locus of an experience. Idam bruyaha tari. So, sopi anubhavita asmakam. We don't accept, we say that asmakam anubhuti evaha tatah na prasak tat sattve pramanam abhavadityartha. So for us, anubhavita also is anubhuti only. All there is one consciousness, therefore asmakam mate anubhavita anubhuti eva. We don't see a distinction between the knower and the knowing. Na tatah pratak tat sattve pramana bhavat. So there is no pramanam of an anubhavita, of an experiencer, separate from as a locus of an experience, which experiencer also is also experienced only. कथम तरी अनुभूति अनुभविता अनुभाव्येति भेद दर्शनम. Then why do we have this kind of difference of anubhuti, the perception, anubhavita, the perceiver, the knower, anubhavya, the object of knowing? Iti bhed darshan. How to explain? In our life we have this knower, unknown and knowing. So how do you get this Veda, means this kind of division? Ityataha. Therefore, the answer is given. Abhinnopi buddhyatma viparyasita darshanaihi grahya grahak samvitti भेदवानिव लक्ष्यते. बुद्ध्यात्मा अभिन्नोपि, बुद्धि स्वभाव अभिन्नोपि एकोपि. There are no three things. All you call is buddhi, that both does. So that is the ultimate reality for them. Ekopi is one. Viparyasa darshanai bhranti buddhi bihi purushai. People who have bhranti or delusion, they think that there is a knower, there is known, there is knowing. All there is just knowledge or buddhi. ग्राह्य ग्राह संवित्ति भेदवानी में लक्ष्यते. संवित्ति शब्द है ग्रहण शब्द पर्याय. So ग्राह, ग्राह्य, ग्राहक ग्रहणम. ग्राह्य the object, ग्राहक is the subject, knower, knower, ग्रहणम knowledge. So what is this one buddhi? You people are deluded to think that there are this knower, known and knowing. The division is not there. One buddhi alone is there. Buddhe karakatva anangikaracha na kartaradi apekshada iti. And we don't expect buddhi as a karaka. Karaka means one of the accessories. Karta, karma, karanam, these are all karakas. If buddhi is one of the karakas, then a karaka must have an need of a karta. Karta is the first karaka, then comes karma, then comes karanam, etc. So buddhi is a karaka, meaning one of the accessories in accomplishing an action. Karaka is one of the accessories required for accomplishing an action. To accomplish an action, it requires certain samagri, and they are called karakas. So, if buddhi is one of the karakas, then the karta is expected. If buddhi is karma or karana or something, then a karta is expected. Buddhi is not a karaka, therefore there is no apeksha, need for karta and other kind of other karakas. Bhutiryesham kriya saiva karakam saiva chochyate sattvam nashitvam asyāschet sakartrutvam tatheshyadam. Bhuti yesham kriya saeva karakam saeva chochyate. Yesham is yesham mate bhuti anubhuti saeva kriya. Anubhuti call it, or consciousness they call it buddhi also. Saeva kriya, that itself is kriya. Saeva karakam uchyate, that alone is all accessories. So viparyas darshani, what is this buddhyatma? There is only what you call atma or buddhi. Ultimately that is shunya also, or that is kshanika. But that's all there is, and then therefore for whom there is all accessories are required. So yesham mateya bhuti anubhuti saeva kriya saeva karakam uchyate. So anubhuti itself is kriya, anubhuti itself is karakam. Then kshanabhangurattvena viramya vyapara ayogat. Again they call this buddhi as kshanika. So if it is kshanika, then every kshana there is vyapara, then there is virama, vyapara, then virama, that's called. But we don't find that, we find continuity. Tesham mate kastasya svavidirik apekshaniya syad ityartha. Then you would accept someone other than the kshanika, which establishes a continuity. Since vyavahara is not viramya, vyavahara doesn't occur momentarily, vyavahara occurs continuously. Therefore, there must be a factor that is continuous. And if this buddhi is kshanika, then tad vyatirikta. There must be an entity other than buddhi that establishes the continuity of the vyavahara. Because even when you say that buddhi is kshanika, our experience of vyavahara is continuous, and therefore there must be someone other than that kshanika buddhi that establishes the continuous vyavahara. प्रथमम अनुभूते अन्य अनपेक्षत्वम निराकरोति सिद्धांति. They say that anubhuti, experience, buddhi is self-effulgent, self-sufficient, does not require anything else. You don't need an anubhavita, etc. Anubhuti itself is self-shining, self-revealing, self-existing. So anubhute anya anapekshatvam nirakaroti. So they say you don't need anything. Why do you need an anubhavita? Why do you experience? And all there is experience. Vedanta says, how does it happen? So, verse 140, Sattvam nashitvam asyaschet sakartrutvam tatha ishyatam. Sattvam anubhutehe asya sattvam swarupa sattvam nashitvam kshanabhangaratvam ishtam chet. We say that anubhuti is momentary. That buddhi or anubhuti experience is momentary, that is swarupa sattvam, the nature is momentary. Nashitvam kshanabhangaratvam ishtam tavai. So if you say that, claim that it is momentary, tavatarihi tatha sakartrutvam api ishyatam. How do you establish the momentariness of this? There must be somebody to know the momentariness, is it not so? How do you fellows know that the consciousness is momentary? How did you arrive at that? Unless there is a knower of momentariness, how do you say that consciousness is momentary? So to establish any dharma, any nature for anything, you require someone who is the proof, a witness, and therefore tatha sakartava ishyatam anuvasya atrapi sadbhavat. So you have to accept someone who is aware of this momentariness and who therefore verifies momentariness of your buddhi or consciousness. Anuvasyavi atrapi sadbhavat, because the momentariness has to be experienced, then only you can arrive at it, therefore there must be an experiencer. Vedantin says. If you say that this possesses some nature, what? The kshanikatvam is a nature of the buddhi, then that kshanikatvam must be noted, recognized by some entity who is a knower of that, and therefore you should accept a anubhavita, an experiencer of that kshanikatvam also. See, one kshana is over, other kshana is in. So they are independent of each other, then there must be some factor that establishes this kshana is gone, next kshana has come, that kshana is gone, next kshana. So one is not kshanika. Must be the one who must be the witness to establish the momentariness of consciousness. Atha sattvaadhyapi dharvo naishyate iti matam. Sattva, we don't accept existence as the dharma. So not only momentariness is of buddhi, even existence also is not the essential nature of buddhi. Ultimately everything reduces to non-existence. Tada kshanikatva pakshasyapi asiddhi, then how do you say that it is momentary? You don't accept existence also. Ultimately, Buddhas, Shunyavadis, they say that there is no reality at all. All there is shunyam, void. And how do you say kshanikatvam? Kshanikatvam also, how do you establish kshanikatvam pakshasyapi asiddhi? So if existence is not the dharma, then how do you establish that? Even momentariness, how to establish? So, verse 144 says, Na kaschit cheshyate dharma iti chet pakshahanata nanvastitpadayo dharma नास्तित्वादि निवृत्तयः. न कश्चित् इष्यते धर्मः इति चेत्. Even Buddha says that sattvaadi api dharmo na ishyate. That even existence also is not the dharma of buddhi. Iti matam. Tada pakshahanata. Then your paksha of kshanikatva also, how do you establish? Kshanikpakshasyapi asiddhi, because kshanikatva also is dharma. If you don't accept any dharma at all, then kshanikatva also is dharma. Then how do you establish kshanikatva paksha? So, paksha hanata, meaning kshanikatva pakshasya hanata asiddhi, then if the existence itself is not there, how do you say that it is momentary? Because momentariness also has to be a consistent factor, dharma. You don't accept any dharma, then how do you even claim momentariness? Going to next page. Nanu asmabhi vijnanasya kshanikattvado dharma na ishyante. We don't say that vijnanam, consciousness, has the nature of momentariness. They don't accept a nature. If they accept nature, they will accept some reality. Even kshanikatvam is nature, then also you would accept that as ultimate reality. They don't want to accept it. There is no reality. Universe has no reality at all. Nanu asmabhi vijnanasya kshanikattvado dharma na ishyante. Buddha says that we don't even accept the momentariness as a nature of consciousness. Vijnanasya. Then what? Kintu akshanikattvadi apoha rupa eva kshanikattvadi ishyate. We say that what is kshanikatvam? It is the opposite of akshanikatvam. Absence of akshanikatvam. Akshanikattvadi apoha. It is the absence of akshanikatvam is called kshanikatvam. So, what is goodness? Absence of badness. What is partness? Absence of non-partness. So, akshanikattvadi apoharupeva kshanikattvadi. We don't say kshanikatvam, momentariness, is independent nature of consciousness. We call it momentary only inasmuch as it is the absence of non-momentariness. Akshanikattvadi apoharupa eva kshanikattvadi ishyate. What is part? Absence of non-partness. What's a cow? Absence of non-cowness. Atanukta. Therefore, the dosha which Vedantin pointed out, that if you don't accept any dharma at all, then how do you arrive at kshanikatva? That dharma means something consistent must be there. So how do you arrive at kshanikatva also if you don't accept that as a nature? If you don't accept kshanikatva as nature, we say kshanikatva is nothing but the opposite of akshanikam. Atana ukta dosha. Therefore, we don't have any dosha, we have this position. So have we read that 144? Let us read that verse again. न कश्चित् चेष्यते धर्मः इति चेत् पक्षहानता नन्वस्तित्वादयो धर्माः नास्तित्वादिनिवृत्तयः न भूतेस्तर्हि नाशित्वम् स्वालक्षण्यं मतं हि ते. So न कश्चित् इष्यते धर्म हि चेत्, then we say there is no dharma. Kshanikatva also is not a dharma. Pakshahanata, then your claim that the kshanikatvam itself is also is negated or that is unproven. Nunu astitvadayo dharmaha na astitvadi nastitvadi nivruttaya. He says no. Astitva dharma is what? Nastitvadi nivrutti. The opposite of nastitva or absence of nastitva is called astitva. That's all we mean by dharma astitva is absence of nastitva. Na bhute tari nashitvam. Then we cannot say anubhuti or consciousness is momentary or destructive or mortal. Swalakshanam matam hite, because you accept that it is a lakshanam. whatever lakshana you accept, as opposite of, as long as it possesses its own lakshana, you can't say that it is non-existent. Na bhute, na bhutam anubhute tarhi nashitvam, then you can't say anubhuti is nashitvam or non-existent. Swalakshanyam matam hite. It is some lakshana. What lakshana? Nastitvadi nivrutti is lakshanam. As long as that consistency is there, then you accept the existence of that thing. And therefore you can't say that it is non-existent. A non-existent thing cannot have any dharma. A non-existent thing which is like the horn of a hare cannot have any dharma, being opposed to something, absence of something. For something being opposed to something to be absent, if something is absent, it must be an entity. A non-existent entity such as horn of a hare, Shashashranga, it cannot be said to be absence of something, opposed to something, whatever. You can't say anything. So swalakshanyam matam hite. Here is some lakshana. What is the lakshana? Nastitvadi nivrutta. That lakshana is there. What is astitva? Is the absence of nastitva. Accept that lakshana, then you are accepting as existence. Because there is consistent lakshana, absence of existence. So, go back again to the verse 44. Nanu nasmabhi vijñāsya kshanikatvad dharma ishyante, says Buddha. We don't accept kshanikatva, the dharma. There is a consistent nature of vijnana or consciousness. We don't accept. We don't accept continuity, we don't accept consistency. That's all. Some craze is there, Sarvam kshanikam, sarvam shunyam, sarvam sasamvedyam, what is it? Sarvam dukkham, sarvam swasamvedyam, swa. There is a declaration. 4 great truths revealed by Buddha. So that is their Upanishad, that is their Veda. And so somehow you have to create a whole theory, in order to establish that. How Shastras people build up. Everything is, every little sampradaya which started 100 years ago, there are hundreds and thousands of granthas. The people keep on creating new and new books and books and books. And you get lost. Who is saying what? So here also kintu akshanikattvadi apaurupava kshanikattvadi ishyate. That's what he says. Atana ukta, therefore the dosha that you stated is not there. So what's the dosha you stated? That you have, there is no nashitvam, meaning that then you are accept. So swalakshanyam. We are not accepting any lakshan, therefore we are not accepting any existence at all, no reality. So therefore, Vedantin, the kind of objection raised doesn't have a place in our. We are not saying kshanikatva is dharma. It is just the absence of akshanikatva. Then he yasmat te tava bhute swalakshanyam matam. Bhute anubhute, of the consciousness we accept swalakshanyam, this kind of lakshanam, which is what? Absence of kshanikatvam, or opposite of akshanikatvam, whatever. Svainev lakshate jnayate swalakshanam tasya swalakshanyam nirvikalpa matram iti yavata. So nirvikalpata. Tata savikalpatvat akshanikatva satvat, then savikalpatvat, then you have to accept something that establishes that kshanikatvam. Akshanikatva, where is akshanikatvam? Is there something called akshanikatva? Akshanikatva svat, astva. There is no akshanikatva as an entity. Akshanikatva is absence of kshanikatva, asatvat. So you can't say an absent horse is some kind of an entity, you know. Nashitva ajñatvadi vyavrutte. So nashitva vyavrutti ajñatvadi vyavrutte anubhutescha savikalpaka jnana agocharatvat na sattva nashvatvadi dharma siddhi. So, sattvanashavatvam dharma. What is the dharma? Sattvanasham. Destruction of existence, destruction of reality. That is the dharma. How do you arrive at even that dharma? Because nashitva ajñatvadi vyavrutte, therefore, anubhute, first you say that nashitva vyavrutam, ajñatva vyavrutam. Vyavrutti itself is a dharma for them. Anubhute cha savikalpa jnana agocharatvat. Anubhuti is not been known by, there is no knower, known, vyavastha there. Na sattvanashvatvaya dharma siddhi. Then, how is any dharma established? Sattvanashatvaya dharma. You cannot establish any kind of dharma for your consciousness. So, etadeva sphutayati, this is clarified. Swalakshana avadhir nashaha nasho nasha nivruttita agora sattvam gotvam te nadu tad gotva lakshanam. So this is clarified here. Ayamartaha. Now we are talking about the nasha. So everything is subject to, well, what is nasha? Let us understand that. Karyam vinashyatna niravadhi nashyati. When something gets destroyed, it leaves something. For example, idamatra nasti. Now this part is not there. Idam, here it is not there. Idam, this part is not here. See, the part was here. Then you say, idam atra nasti. When the part, how do you describe the non-existence of part? The part is not here. That's what you have to say. Either play with reference to place, that it is not here. With reference to time, idanim nasti. The part is not now. It used to be before, it is not now. It used to be here, it is not here now. That is how you describe the non-existence of something. Absence of something is always described with a reference. It is absent now. If something was never there, you cannot say absence. Absence presupposes presence. And therefore, destruction of presence is that it's not present now. It's not present here. That is how vinasha also is understood. Nashtam iti va nasho vyavahriyate. Idam atra nasti. Idam idanim nasti. Idam nashtam. Then this is destroyed. Something is destroyed. Iti va nasha vyavahriyate. Therefore, nasha also is only understood in this manner. You keep on repeating this word, nasha, destruction, all right. But your buddhi has to explain destruction, and we understand destruction with reference to time, with object. That this object is not here at this time. This object is not here at this place. This object is not here whatever. This is how the nasha, destruction of an object is understood, or is it communicated, is it understood? Tasmat kiyapi asti vinasha avadhibhutam. Therefore, a vinasha always presupposes an avadhi. It is not here. So part is not. What do you mean part is not? Where is it not? So in order for me to understand absence of part, you say part is not here. Part is not now. So therefore the absence also is a reference to time, place. Oh, this is not a part, the cloth. So that is how, there is always an avadhi, meaning there is always a reference with reference to which you always understand the absence of something. Tasmat kimapi asti, therefore there is always something. Vinash avadhi bhutam, avadhi, which is where the vinasha culminates. It is not here now, it is not here, it is not this. Avinashyat anutpannam svatasiddham cha iti abhyupayam. Then that something, what is avadhi? That which does not get destroyed. The vinasha presupposes something that is not destroyed. It is not here, so time is there. Place is there. This is not part. So there must be always avadhi bhutam with reference to which we always understand or explain vinasha. Tasmat kimapi asti. There is always some avadhi, a reference point. Vinasha avadhi bhutam, with reference to which the vinasha is understood or described. Avinashyat, that is not destroyed. It is not there on the table has to be there. Anutpannam, table has always been there, not that it is coming to being now. It is not kshanikam. Swatasiddham cha, table always existed. So table doesn't require any other thing to establish itself with reference to which we say that the part is not there. If table also is not swatasiddham, then somewhere you need swatasiddham. Vinasa is always that something is not there, always requires a reference of something which is there. With reference which you say something is not there. Id abhyupayam. That's what the Vedantin says. You talk about this, but how do you understand? You talk about momentariness, how did you arrive at momentariness? How did you in your own mind understand momentariness? How do you understand distraction, complete distraction, total distraction? How do you understand? Because all of these are not the matters of our experience. Our mind cannot conceive of a distraction without any reference. You can't think of non-existence, really. Non-existence of the horn on my head, but some horn reference is there. The mind cannot think of non-existence on its own. Cannot think of non-existence. Similarly, cannot think of distraction also. Distraction of a part, distraction of something or the other. So without that reference, non-existence cannot be understood, distraction. So how do you understand? We're just talking about it, claiming it to be there, or is it? Can you make somebody understand this? If you are conveying, then you must make somebody know. That's called knowledge. Swalakshana vadirnasha iti. So verse 145 says, Swalakshana avadihi nasha. Surupamaya lakshanam pramanam dhanuvasasa swalakshana sa avadi siyamayasya vinashasya satatha iti vigraha. तथा च त्वन्मते आविर्भाव तिरोभावयोः avadhibhutasya sthirasya bhavat. When you say that something has come into being, then also it has come into being at this time, in this place, Something has gone out of existence at this time, at this place, because non-existence presupposes existence with reference, then only you say it is not there. So, non-existent part, but the part has to be there, and therefore, some Sima Avadhi has to be there. तथा च त्वन्मते आविर्भाव तिरोभावयोः avadhibhutasya sthirasya bhavat. Some sthiram must be there which is devoid of avirbhava tirobhava. To say that something has come into being, it must be in reference to something that has not come into being. Something has gone out of being with reference to something that has not gone out of being. Therefore, if you don't accept it, then na sattvenashayo siddhi. If you don't accept that maryada, that limit, reference point, then you can't arrive at the sattva vinasha. Coming into being or destruction can't be established unless there is an avadhi. It has come into being now, come into being here, It has gone out of being now, it is destroyed now, it is destroyed here. So this absence of cloth, absence of something cannot establish the nature of something. You can't describe something by absence of something. There has to be a reference. Just can't say absence. Siddhe nashe, so kincha apoha pakshe anyonyashasya prasajyeta. Nashahiti, so Nashahiti. So Nashaha Anasha Nivrittita. Nashaha Anasha Nivrittita. Nasha is called the Nivritti of Anasha. Siddhe Nasha Tad Virodhina Anashasya Siddhi. But where do you get Anasha? Unless there is Nasha. Says Nasha means the nivritti of anasha, but nasha must be there, then only there is a nivritti of, opposite. So, siddhe nashe tad virodhina anashasya siddhi. What is anasha? Anasha is reference to nasha. If nasha is there, then anasha can be there. If nasha is not there, what is anasha? It's all, in the air. It's not there. What is not there? Part is not. Something is not there, and therefore something is gone. And without there, what is nasha by itself cannot be visualized. Siddhe nashe tad virodhina anashasya siddhi. If nasha is there, then its opposite anasha can be arrived at. Tat siddhavu, but you say what is nasha? Is absence of anasha. So nasha requires anasha for being absent. Anasha requires nasha for being absent. Each one requires the other. It's called the anyonyashraya. And therefore, tat siddhu tat aporupa nasha siddhi ityartha. Therefore, anyonyashrayasya prasajyeta. If you say that something is absence of something else, then that is required for proving absence here, and this is required to prove presence there, etc. And therefore, these are not independently existing things. It is presupposed. So you cannot arrive at something. So where is your house opposite this Panwala? Where is Panwala opposite my house? How will you reach there? Yattu samanyam anabhyagacchata. They don't accept a samanyam. Like jati, in terms of gotva. Bauddhena ago vyavrittihi go lakshanam. So they don't accept something called gotva or cowness, for whatever reason. If you accept, then you are accepting some reality. So cowness, it possesses, there is some dharma. Nothing possesses dharma. So cow doesn't possess dharma of cowness. Then what is cow? Ago vyavritti. Cow is the absence of non-cow. Cow, what is a cow? Absence of non-cow. Iti go lakshanam. Tat anupannam. So how again? What is absence of cow? We don't know what cow is, how to arrive at absence, and you cannot arrive at the presence without the absence. Again, anyonyashrayasya tat avastatya. In short, there also anyonyashraya. He says cow means what? Absence of non-cow. What is non-cow opposed to cow? So non-cow requires cow for oppose, and cow requires non-cow. So each one depends upon the other. You cannot arrive at it. You can't arrive at non-cow unless you accept cow. But to define cow, if you say non-cowness is, opposite of non-cow is cow, then what is cow? Opposite of non-cow. What is non-cow? Absence of cow. So goho anyasya ashvatvadehe agopada abhideyatvat. So goho anyasya ashvatvadehe horse. So what is non-cow? A horse. Agopada abhideyasya asatvam. So therefore, what is cow? Absence of horseness. Iti te matam tattu na gotva lakshanam siddhyati. The absence of horseness, how do you arrive at cow? Cow is absence of non-cowness. So who is horse? Non-cow. So non-cowness is absence of non-cow, absence of horseness. So how do you arrive at the cow? So get a cow, right? The cow, how will that fellow get? Even a Shunyavadi has to perform his day-to-day activity. And therefore, he says, get that cow. What is cow? Not horse. What is horse? Not cow. It's called Nyonyashraya. Tattu na gotva lakshanam siddhyati. That way also, by saying that cow is absence of non-cow, that way also you do not arrive at the lakshana, the nature of definition of gotva. Ashvasyapi gotvaya vritti lakshanataya. Because what is ashva? Not cow. What is cow? Not horse. So horse requires cow to establish horseness. Cow requires horse to establish cowness. So paraspara apeksha siddhitvat. So you can't arrive at anything. It's all crazy. But this is what, that is how we present them anyway. We ridicule them. They must have some way of ridiculing us, I guess, but this is where we ridicule them. Makes no sense whatever. So, okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purna. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.